This week in Women in Sports, a career that will be hard to match the impact one high school basketball coach had in Alexandria and beyond. Plus, she competed at the Augusta National Women's Amateur earlier this year. Now this Minnesota golfer has been selected to compete at another prestigious competition. And then the U.S. Women's National Team is celebrating 40 years. Their new kits released just this week.
WCCO's Women in Sports, sponsored by Franson Bank and Trust.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Marielle Mohs, and here at WCCO, we are celebrating the highlights of female athletes in this new digital segment called Women in Sports. We'll share new stories with you every week right here as we do our part to give these athletes the recognition they deserve. First up, the WNBA season is now officially underway. The Lynx's next game is Sunday against the Los Angeles Sparks. Then on Wednesday, the Lynx will have their regular season home opener. It will be against Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings, making it a homecoming for the Hopkins grad. The Lynx already played the Wings in Dallas for the first game of the season. And do you remember this?
Now, therefore, I, Patrick Hanlon, Mayor of the City of Hopkins in the state of Minnesota, along with my fellow council members, proclaim May 16th the City of Hopkins to be renamed Paige Bueckers, Minnesota, and that it be known as Paige Bueckers Day here in Hopkins.
That was Hopkins Mayor Patrick Hanlon during the City Council meeting last month. Friday was the day the WNBA season began. Meanwhile, Lynx forward center Dorka Juhas will sit out for this season. The team made the announcement over the weekend, saying she, quote, played year-round for the last 2 years. The 25-year-old just got done playing in the Italian League finals with PF Schio. After 40 years at the helm of the Alexandria girls basketball program, head coach Wendy Kohler just retired. And I take a look back on the impact that she had on basketball in Minnesota.
I probably would have taken my last breath on the court, and I really didn't want to do that. So I guess it's onward now.
This is what retirement looks like for Wendy Kohler, being a fan for once, cheering on the Timberwolves in the playoffs.
For sure, it's always fun to cheer the Wolves and the Lynx on.
In her time as head coach at Alexandria, she took the team to the state tournament 13 times. Her last season, leading the Cardinals to third place in Class 3A.
She just created a culture of excellence and relationships, which I think has been contagious throughout Alexandria activities.
Rick Sandstead is the superintendent of Alexandria area public schools and had a front row seat to the impact Wendy's coaching career had on student athletes. His wife, Katie, and his daughter both played for Wendy, too.
I came up with 7 different mother-daughter connections that Wendy had coached.
Family is what the Alexandria girls basketball program is all about. The most consistent fans for Wendy's games were her own parents.
Her mom and dad, Chuck and Marge, like from forever, were always in the stands, were her biggest supporter, and I feel like that is who she was. Is family to her was super important.
Over to Schoening for 3.
When the Cardinals won their sole state championship in 1997, David Hartman was the Alexandria athletic director at the time. It's emotional to think of that special season.
At the time I was on the high school league board, I got to hand out medals. And that was a great memory, for me. And I, that really epitomized for Wendy, I think, her hard work.
The opportunities for female athletes has grown so much in Wendy's time coaching, and she's proud to have had her role in it.
It's awesome to see the women being equal to their male counterparts, and I'm really privileged to be able to promote that for the last 40 years.
Congrats, Wendy. And in her final season coaching, she banked her 1,000th win with the Alexandria Cardinals. She ended her career as the second most winning coach for girls basketball in Minnesota, behind the head coach of New London Spicer, Mike Dreyer. Well, you've heard this name before, Isabella McCauley. Well, now the Gopher has been selected to represent Team USA in the 2025 Arnold Palmer Cup. This year's Arnold Palmer Cup is set for June 5th to 7th in Ridgeland, South Carolina. The Cup features Ryder Cup-style competition with top 12 men's and women's collegiate golfers from the United States competing against their international counterparts. And in softball, a player is being recognized by the Big Ten. Just last week, junior pitcher Sydney Schwartz was named to the Big Ten All-Defensive Team. This season, the Victoria native appeared in 39 games with 27 starts. She threw 6 shutouts this season to rank 2nd in the Big Ten and 7th nationally. Schwartz is now the 3rd Gopher pitcher to make the Big Ten All-Defensive Team. Well, the U.S. women's national team is celebrating their 40th anniversary with a new set of kits from Nike. According to the press release, the primary light kit is being called the Brilliant Kit. The denim-inspired Blue Star design is inspired by past kits. And get this, U.S. Soccer says the team will debut the kit later this month when the women's national team plays China PR in St. Paul. The dark kit will be the away kit for the men's and women's national teams. The release said it's being called the Heartbeat Kit, and it was designed as a tribute to the fans. Well, there will now be 48 teams for the 2031 Women's World Cup. The FIFA Council unanimously decided to expand the tournament from 32 teams. This brings it to the line with the Men's World Cup. The 48-team tournament will have 12 groups and feature 104 matches. That's expanded from 64. The tournament will also be 1 week longer. Last month, FIFA president said the U.S. and U.K. look to host the 2031 and 2035 Women's World Cups, but the decision will be formally made next year. And the next Women's World Cup will be held in Brazil in 2027, and it will be the last time with the 32-team format. FIFA also has pledged to help create an Afghanistan refugee team in women's soccer. The team will be able to play friendly games outside of competitions. It comes amid a sports ban by the Taliban on women in the country. Exiled players want to be recognized Afghanistan women's national team, playing qualifying games for the Women's World Cup and Asia Championships. Afghanistan has not played on an official women's competitive game since 2018. Well, a renowned pop culture collectible company is partnering with the WNBA. Funko says it's launching a line of pop figures representing women's basketball players. The first wave will feature Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces, Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky, Brianna Stewart of the New York Liberty, and Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever. Dang, just missing a Lynx player there, I think. Pre-sale for the new pop figures began on Thursday. Well, 5-time Olympic basketball champion Sue Bird has now been tapped as the first ever managing director of the U.S. women's national team. As part of the newly created role, Bird will help select coaches and players for the national team. She steps into the role after being the long dominant team claimed a historic 8th consecutive Olympic crown in Paris. Bird won 4 WNBA titles and was named an All-Star, a record 13 times in her 19th seasons with the Seattle Storm. Her Olympic career spanned from 2004 to the Tokyo Games in 2021. Now let's head down to Missouri for this next story, where graduates of the University of Washington in St. Louis celebrated their achievement with a little star power.
Please help me welcome the high-flying, record-breaking, awe-inspiring gymnast, Simone Biles.
Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles delivered the keynote speech at their graduation earlier this week. She was also awarded an honorary Doctor of Human Letters degree. Biles spoke for about 12 minutes and admitted to being a little nervous. She said she always dreamed of going to a college to become a children's nurse of pediatrician. To close her address, she said, quote, "The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be bold. It needs you to care, and it needs you to keep going when things don't go as planned." Love that. Well, thanks for watching this week's Women in Sports. We'll be back with more great stories next week. I'm Marielle Mohs.